It happened last fall when I got sent out to a dead, forgettable town in northern Pennsylvania for work. I do commercial refrigeration repair, which means at Rever something breaks on this team. It was an old, family-owned supermarket with failing walk-in freezers. The company was short-staffed, so I got stuck with a 3-night assignment in a place where nothing stayed open past 8 p.m. and half the buildings looked abandoned. They booked me into a roadside motel on the edge of town, the kind with one long row of rooms, all facing a cracked parking lot. Maybe 12 rooms total, and only a few cars scattered across it. I pulled in a little after 7 p.m. Right away, something felt off. The office smelled like old coffee and bleach. The woman behind the desk looked to be in her 60s. She smiled, but her eyes kept drifting past me, toward the parking lot behind my back, like she was expecting something. Or someone. While handing me the key, she said something I didn't expect. If anyone knocks on your door at night, she said casually, don't answer it unless it's me or the owner. I actually laughed a little, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. And if you hear anything strange outside, she added, lowering her voice just slightly, call the office. Don't go out there. I asked if the area was dangerous. She just shrugged. Sometimes drifters come through. They bother guests. That didn't sit right with me, but I was tired, so I brushed it off. My room was near the far end, second au last. Inside, it was clean, butyled, cigarette burns in the dresser, dark stains in the carpet that didn't quite come out. I dropped my bag, grabbed some food from a nearby gas station, and came back around 8. That's when I noticed the truck, a dark green pickup, parked 2 spaces away from mine, engine running, headlights off. There was a man inside, but he didn't look at me. Did not move. Just sat there, both hands gripping the steering wheel like a statue. I told myself he was waiting for someone, but something about the way he just sat there didn't feel normal. I went inside anyway, locked the door, and tried to forget about it. As a team, I didn't realize that was the first mistake. By 10:30 p.m., I was done for the night. Shower, lights off, lying in bed, scrolling on my phone, trying to ignore that weird feeling crawling in the back of my mind. That truck was still out there. I hadn't checked again, but I didn't need to. I could feel it. About 20 minutes after I laid down, I heard footsteps outside. Slow, casual. At first, I didn't think much of it. There were a few other guests. People come and go. Butane. The footsteps stopped right outside my door. I stared at the ceiling, waiting to hear a key. Oranok. Or something. Nothing. Juste silence. 15 seconds passed. Then the footsteps continued, fading away. I exhaled, trying to relax. Until they came back. Sam Slopas. Same direction. And once again. They stopped right outside my door. This time, I sat up. Something wasn't right. I slid out of bed quietly and stepped toward the door, careful not to make a sound. I leaned in and looked through the peephole. Nothing. The walkway was empty. No movement. No shadow. No one. I stood there for a few seconds, confused. Then shook it off. Probably someone drunk, I muttered. I went back to bed. Mais j'ai mistake. A little after 11 p.m. Knock, knock. Sharp, even, controlled. My entire body froze. I didn't move. A few seconds later. Knock, knock. Same rythme. Same exact force. That wasn't random. That was deliberate. I got up again, slower this time, heart pounding harder. I looked through the peephole. Empty. Completely empty. Now my stomach dropped. The parking lot lights were dim, but I could see enough. There was no one there. No one walking away. No doors closing. Nothing. I double-checked the deadbolt, even though I knew it was already locked. As I turned back toward the room, something caught my eye. The curtain had just lightly. No open, but enough to realize something horrible. Depending on where, someone stood outside. They could see in. I immediately stepped over and pulled it tight, sealing every inch. Then I killed the lamp. Darkness swallowed the room. I stayed awake, listening. Every tiny sound felt amplified. Then right around midnight, première et arrête, a faint metallic scraping sound, right near the door. Slow, careful, like someone was trying not to be heard. I moved again, quieter than before, barely breathing as I reached the door. And for the third time, I looked through the peephole. Didim. I saw something. A figure. Crochet de l'eau. Just beneath the peephole's view. I could only see the top of a dark baseball cap and part of a shoulder. My heart slammed in my chest. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then suddenly, the figure stood up and walked away fast, footsteps fading toward the end of the building. I grabbed my phone immediately and called the front office, because at that point, I knew something was seriously wrong. I barely slept. Every little sound snapped me awake, pipes creaking, wind brushing against the walls, distant tires on the road. My brain refused to shut off. À some point exact. Première passée d'out. Then, pepe. My eyes shot open. That sound. I knew it instantly. My truck alarm. I grabbed my phone and checked the time. 5h15 AM. Still dark. That cold, dead kind of early morning where nothing should be moving. I slid out of bed and moved toward the window as quietly as I could. I didn't pull. The curtain opened just enough to see through the edge. And that's when I saw him. Armand, standing at my truck. Driver's side door halfway open. Tall, dark jacket. Hat pulled low. He wasn't rushing. Wasn't panicking. Il was calme. Trop calme. Like he had done this before. My heart started hammering so loud I was sure he could hear it. N. He turned his head, slowly, directly toward my room. like he knew exactly where I was standing. Our eyes didn't meet. I couldn't see his face clearly, but something about the way he looked. Ekni. He knew I was watching. He gently shut the truck door. No slam, no rush. Then turned and walked off fast toward the back road behind the motel. Gone. Just like that. I didn't hesitate this time. I dialed 911 immediately. My voice came out tight, controlled, but inside I was shaking. 15 minutes later, police lights washed over the parking lot. 2 officers stepped out, scanning the area like they already knew they wouldn't find anything. And they didn't. No broken glass. No missing items. Nothing. One of them asked me if I was sure I had locked my truck. That question pissed me off more than it should have. I know I locked it, I said. The older officer didn't interrupt. He was watching me carefully, actually listening. When I told him about the knocking, the footsteps, the person crouched outside my door. That's when his expression changed. He asked the motel owner about cameras. There were only 2. One in the office. One at the front entrance. Nothing covering my side. Of course. Before leaving, the older officer pulled me aside. If anything like this happens again, he said quietly, don't open that door. No matter what. Première nodded. Leave in the morning if you can. I asked him if he thought it was random. Hesitated. Then said, probably. Butifas didn't match the word. I should have left. The cop told me to. Every instinct I had told me to. But I didn't. By the time I got back from work that evening, it was already dark again. I parked directly under the brightest light. I could find and carried everything inside in one trip. No chance. The woman at the front desk asked if I was okay. I told her I barely slept. She hesitated, then offered to move me closer to the office. Room 2. Ça fait. I asked why she didn't offer that before. Je pause. Then said something I still think about. It usually doesn't happen 2 nights in a row. That sentence hit harder than anything else. Usually. I should have walked out right then. But première stayer. Around 8 p.m., I grabbed food and came back to the room. While I was eating, I heard an engine. I already knew what it was. I pulled the curtain slightly. The same dark green pickup, slowly rolling through the lot. It passed my room, turned around near the road, and parked at the far end. Light off. Watching. I called the office. This time, the owner answered, Annoyé. If they're not blocking you or damaging anything, there's nothing I can do. People come and go. That's all he said. I sat there for an hour, checking the window over and over. The truck never moved. Eventually, I killed the lights and laid down, fully dressed, ready. Sometime after 11 p.m. Footsteps. Slow. Dragging. Then, a soft tap on the window. No, the door. The window. I didn't move. Another tap. Close. Then, something scraped down the glass. Slow. deliberate, like a fingernail. My blood ran cold. Whoever was out there was inches away from me, and they knew I was inside. I grabbed my phone and started dialing 911. Before I could hit call, the bathroom window rattled. That tiny frosted window above the toilet. Then, something worse. The room next to mine. Première et a lock being worked. Non hacké. Something else. Then the door opened. That room had been empty. Première que nuit. I slid out of bed and pressed myself against the shared wall. Listening. Movement next door. Qui est? Carful. Like someone trying not to exist. I called 911 and whispered everything. N. Bung. A hard hit on the wall behind my headboard. Testing it. Den à noter. Lower this time. Den silence. I couldn't even hear my own breathing. Then, the bathroom window. It started opening. Slowly. I ran in and shoved it shut with both hands. Something on the other side pushed back. Justance. Enough to let me know. I wasn't alone. I locked it and backed away. The dispatcher said cops were 2 minutes out. Then I heard it. More movement outside the front door. More than one person. Then, knock, knock. Ça masse before. Soft. Contrôled. I grabbed a chair and jammed it under the doorknob. Useless, but it was all I had. Seconds later, headlights flooded the room. Police. And instantly, multiple footsteps. Non. À l'histoire. Mais mort. Gone. The officers found pry marks. Mi troc. C'est empty.